Hello everyone, my name is Monit Kachawa and today's session we will start the 4.1 forces and equilibrium, and welcome to EduXcite classes. These are the learning outcome. These are the points which we will try to cover in this video. So resolving the forces and equilibrium problem. This is one of the most important part, you can say. In each and every past year paper you can find these types of problems are generally asked. Okay, so resolving of equilibrium problems, let us consider a force is acting at an angle theta with the horizontal. Okay, now we have to resolve this force in the horizontal and vertical direction. So in order to resolve this, let us consider one more thing. I have to divide this force into two components. One is the horizontal one and one is the vertical one. So let us say the force in the horizontal is, let us say, Fx. It is denoted by an arrow with a straight line representing, as we know that force is a vector quantity. Similarly, let us say this is Fy. So I can say the force F is the combination of two forces Fx and Fy, where Fx is the horizontal component of force F and Fy is the vertical component of force F, and theta is the angle of with the horizontal. Now I can simply say that in this triangle, if I redraw this, I can say this is angle theta. Okay, let us make it a larger one. Okay, fine. So let us say this is angle theta, this is force F, this is Fy, and this is Fx. Now in this triangle, if I say what will be the cos theta, so cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. So for this triangle, angle with this theta, the base will be Fx and the hypotenuse will be capital F. So Fx by F. So I can say Fx can be written as F cos theta. So this is the most important, we can say, the resolution when we are resolving the forces into horizontal and vertical. So this is a horizontal component and we generally denote it with the Fx. Okay, in the same manner I can say if I have to calculate sin theta, so sin theta will be opposite upon hypotenuse. So opposite is Fy and the hypotenuse is again capital F. Similarly, I can write Fy as F sin theta. So I have resolved these two forces in terms of the known quantity, that is F and theta, in horizontal and vertical direction. Now the question arises, why we are doing so? Why we are resolving the forces into horizontal and vertical? Because as per our curriculum, what we are supposed to do is to solve the equilibrium problems. Now in order to understand how to solve the problem, first of all we should know the meaning of equilibrium. Now in the mechanics, if we consider the equilibrium, equilibrium is said to be when the resultant force, what is the resultant force, is equals to 0. The sum of all the resultant force acting at a particular point should be equals to 0. Or in other words, I can say what we have done is we have resolved it into the horizontal and this is the vertical component. So the horizontal and vertical component, the sum of all the forces in the horizontal, that is summation of, I can say that is summation of Fx should be equals to 0 and the summation of Fy should also be equals to 0. So this is the first and the foremost condition when we are dealing with the equilibrium problems. Similarly, in physics, if we talk, the one more condition should be fulfilled, that is the principle of moment, which says the clockwise movement is equals to the anti-clockwise movement. The sum of all the clockwise movement should be equals to the sum of all the anti-clockwise movement. But here in this our curriculum, we will not discuss about the moment because this is not considered here in the mechanics. Okay, so the most important point is we have to resolve Fx and Fy in the horizontal and vertical direction, and if the question says the system is in equilibrium, then we have to make out the equation for horizontal and vertical resolve, calculate and find out the unknown variables. That's it. So this is the most common question you can see in each and every paper. So now we will apply this in the coming example. One more thing we can say here, the force F, if we talk about the force, this force is nothing but the mass into acceleration. The total force, if it having a mass m, if it is moving. Now we are not talking about the equilibrium, we are discussing if an object is moving with an acceleration having a force, then the resultant force can be written as mass into acceleration. This we will discuss further more detail in the coming videos, but as of now let us consider over this topic. Okay, I hope now it is clear to you. Now let us apply this method, this concept in a previous year question. This is 970941 October November 19, question number 5. So you see a small ring P, this is a small ring P threaded on a horizontal smooth rod AB. These are the three horizontal forces acting at different angle. First we have to find out, given that these three forces are in equilibrium. In the question it is mentioned that it will be clearly stated in the question that these forces are in equilibrium. Find the value of F and theta. So what we are supposed to find out the value of F, how much will be this force, and the angle with the horizontal as shown in the figure. So we have to apply the same what we have learned right now. I can just the most important is to redraw this diagram in the horizontal and vertical component, and you have to do this in the same in the examination also. This act as an evidence that the student knows how to resolve the forces. So always remember, I am resolving this force F, so I can say this will be F cos theta. Always remember, if this is the angle theta, so the component along the theta will be F cos theta, and 90 degree to F cos theta will be your F sin theta. So this is the cos component when the theta is here, and this is the sin component, so I can write F sin theta. So I have resolved this force F into two horizontal and vertical component. Similarly, you have to take other forces as well, that is 4.5. So 4.5, the angle is theta here, so I can write 4.5 cos 20 here, and the 90, it will be in the upward vertical direction, so it will get add with this 4.5 sin 20. Okay, similarly a 7.5 Newton is acting in the downward direction. You can see this is in the downward direction, this is angle 60. So this will be, yes, what will it be, 7.5 cos 60, and this will be 7.5 sin 60. So what we have done is we have resolved all the forces acting on the ring P in different direction into horizontal and vertical. Now the equilibrium, what is the concept of equilibrium? We know that summation of Fx is equals to 0 and summation of Fy, that is the horizontal forces, should be balanced as well as the vertical forces should be balanced. So we can write directly an equation like, for horizontal I can say F cos theta will be equals to 7.5 cos 60 plus 4.5 cos 20. Okay, and the next I can say for vertical I can write F sin theta plus 4.5 sin 20 will be equals to the downward force, which is 7.5 sin 60. I hope now it is clear to you. Okay, so these are the equation. Now we have two equations, F cos theta and F sin theta, and then simultaneously we can solve for F and theta. Okay, so you can solve it on your own. So we get F cos theta as 7.9786 and F sin theta as, now squaring both the side and adding, so F square sin square plus cos square becomes 1, it will be equals to 7.9786 whole square plus 4.9561 whole square. You can take up to 4 decimal and then at last we can round it off. Now calculating this, So finally we got F equals to 9.3926 and round it off, it becomes 9.4 Newton. Okay, so the answer is 9.4 Newton for the value of F. Now we can find out the value of theta as well. So for theta, what we can do is we can do sine by cos, that is tan theta, dividing this equation 1 and let us say this equation 2. So dividing 1 by 2, that is tan theta comes out to be 4.9561 divided by 7.9786. So theta comes out to be, so we can find out tan inverse of 4.9561 divided by 7.9786. So we get 31.847. So 31.8 degree. Up to 1 decimal you have to answer. So this is the answer for the angle theta. So we get 6 marks. You can see it is of 6 marks for the simple calculation. What we have done, we have simply resolved. Now it is in equilibrium, so we can say the forces will be balanced. Now if the forces are balanced, so the vertical and the horizontal equation, we have to make it out. We have to find out the unknown variable. So this is the simplest way to find out the force F and theta. Now you can see in the second part, it is given instead that the value of F and theta are 9.5 and 30 degree respectively. Now they have changed the values and the acceleration of the ring is 1.5 meter per second. Find the mass of the ring. Now you can say this ring can only be slide over this horizontal smooth rod AB. It cannot move in the vertical direction. Okay, so by this we can consider that we have to find out the net force in the horizontal direction, that is this. Now we know the value of F, we know the value of theta. Now it cannot be said that the F cos theta will be equals to this, because now it is not in an equilibrium condition, because in the question it is mentioned that it is moving with an acceleration of 1.5 meter per second square. Okay, so now using the second law of motion, that is F equals to mass into acceleration, and this F will be the resultant force and that should be in horizontal direction. Why? Because the ring is moving in your horizontal direction, not in the vertical direction. So we have to consider this now. So considering the values given in the question, that is F equals to 9.5 and theta equals to 30, apply this equation and we know that 7.5 cos 60 plus 4 cos 20 is acting in the negative x direction, and this sums out to be 7.9786. Now we have to consider what will be the value of F cos theta by considering F as 9.5 and theta as 30. So if you consider this, so F equals to 9.5 and theta equals to 30 degree, I can simply say that F cos theta comes out to be, so we know that now this F cos theta which is acting in the positive x direction is greater than the previous value. So we can say the F resultant will be equals to F cos theta minus of this 7.5 cos 60 plus 4.5 cos 20. So we have calculated all the values already. So 8.2272 minus of this value 7.9786. So if you subtract these values, you will get the answer F resultant, and we know that F resultant is nothing but mass into acceleration, and acceleration in the question is mentioned, which is 1.5 meter per second square. Okay, so by just applying mass into acceleration as 0.2486, so so we have to calculate mass. So mass comes out to be 0.2486 divided by 1.5. So if you do this, 1657 kg is the answer, or round it off, I can say mass comes out to be 0.17 kg. So this will be your answer for the second part. I hope now it is clear to you. Thank you.